Okay, and we're recording now.
Wonderful.
Hey! Oh, perfect start. Interrupt on the very first word. That was beautiful. That was amazing. Let's try that again. Hey, this is Matt.
And this is Yuna.
And this is episode 2 of Our Three Things, a podcast hosted by Yuna and Matt, where we like to tell just what was making us feel joyful right now, our top 3 things for the week.
And this is our second weekend of the lockdown.
Yeah, second weekend of the lockdown in Sydney. You know, seeing all my friends in the US not being in a lockdown makes me a little bit jealous, but hopefully we'll get through it quickly. But yeah, I think doing this podcast is actually helping quite a bit with that.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to talking about our 3 things and finding some joy today.
Yeah.
So, I know we've had so many of these so far, but I think it's your turn to go first, actually.
Is it?
I think it's your turn.
Okay.
Why don't you tell me your first thing?
So, when Matt asked me about what the 3 things I'm going to talk about for this weekend, I was kind of struggle at first. I was like, I don't really know what I want to talk about. And then I thought to myself how difficult it is to find just 3 simple things. And then I noticed...
Yeah. Well, that's not very reassuring.
I know, but just listen.
Okay.
Okay, so, and then I realized it's simple things in life. So my number 1, it's very little, it's very simple, very straightforward. It's my lovely fresh roses, which I get from the flower market 2 weeks ago. And the reason I'm so happy and grateful about that is normally when you get fresh cut flowers from the Flemington market, it normally lasts only for a week, sometimes less than 5 days. But we have these 2 beautiful pink roses sitting on our dining table. Has been looking great for the entire 2 weeks.
I'm starting to think that you might have bought fake ones on accident, to be honest, because our track record with getting roses from the local market, I mean, we're lucky if they last 3 days sometimes.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
But I'm looking at these 2 right now, right across the room from where we're sitting, and they still look pristine. I mean...
And I remember it only cost like $5 because we went late last time, and it's actually pretty cheap. And I'm surprised it lasts very long. And I think for me personally, I really love fresh flowers in the house because it brought out the color. And it's difficult with lockdown because obviously we can't go to our favorite flower market every Saturday, which is a big bummer. But I'm very grateful those 2 roses last for so long, which makes me really happy to look at them every day. So
beautiful, short and sweet. Love it.
So that's my first thing. So what about you, Matt?
Lovely. Well, mine is actually, you're gonna have a hard time relating to this one actually, but it was actually a YouTube video that I watched earlier in the week, and I'll put a link to it in the description for this episode. But it's called the Western States 100 Golden Hour Finishers is the name of the video.
What's that?
So I'll show it to you. So I'm just pulling this up so Yuna can look at it while I talk through it. So I guess some context here. For those of you maybe not in the know or who don't know me personally, I'm a runner, so I've done a lot of marathons as well as what's known as an ultra marathon, which is a race that basically anything that lasts longer than 26.2 miles, which is a regular marathon.
So can you explain for people in Australia?
Oh, excuse me, sorry. Yeah, for all of my friends, including myself, I guess not in the United States. That's anything longer than 42 kilometers, which is a standard marathon. So there's a really famous one in the US called the Western States Endurance Run. It's been going since, I believe, 1974, if I'm not mistaken. It's one of the first, it's 100 miles, just to be clear, which is about 160 or so kilometers. Starts and ends in 2 different cities in California on the West Coast in the United States. And it's one of the oldest of this distance of race. So I could talk for ages about like the history of the race and the sport and everything. But specifically what's giving me joy this week about it, so the latest edition of the race was just put on last weekend. And just for context, the people who actually attend it and are going to like win this thing, so like the world elites of this insane crazy thing. The winner actually won it in less than 15 hours. I think it's like
15 hours
14 hours, 54 minutes, something
for
like
like
that.
160 kilometers.
Yeah, and it's all through, single track, like trail, kind of bushwalking kind of trails like
Wow.
that. So the winners are doing these, ridiculously fast. What this video shows is what's called the golden hour, which is the very last. So basically, you have 30 hours to complete the race under your own power. If you last longer than that, then you have to be disqualified.
Yeah.
So what they call the golden hour is actually the last 60 minutes, so hour 29 to hour 30, basically.
Yeah.
And this is, the people who win this race are doing it in half that. So you have to imagine when there's still people on the course, sort of your average person, like this would be me if I ever did a race like this that was this long. They're still going, and they've done at this point 98, 99 miles of this thing. And they have 1 hour left out of a 30-hour time limit. And this video, literally all it is just showing the last mile or so, last couple kilometers for these people who are in that very last stretch of the 30-hour time limit. And it's very simple. It's not very edited. It's just showing these people. It's like a series of them, about 25 minutes long or so. And the reason it gives me joy is because, to me, these are like the true heroes of this like crazy endurance running sport.
Yeah.
Because these are people who are they're literally putting as much effort as they can for twice as long as the winners. Like, think about it that way. They're really stretching themselves. And oftentimes, like the very last lap of this thing, you can see on the video, Yuna, is they're going around like a track. Yes. And this is after, 99 miles of brutal, bushwalking trail, basically.
Like after 29 hours.
Exactly. So you can see like this person,
Yeah.
29 hours, 16 minutes, 50 seconds, and they're finishing it up.
Yeah.
So there's so much grit and determination and heart that goes into this last bit. It's just so exciting to watch. It's a weird spectator sport, running, right? But when you see something like this, you're really like, it just makes me driven to go. Yeah, it makes you emotional.
Yeah.
And you'll sometimes see like their families run the last bit with them. I think, in this video, someone's doing that. I've seen people like when they come in, they pick up their kids and run in with their kids.
Yeah.
It's just really pure and lovely to see that kind of thing. And it's one of the reasons that I like doing endurance sports. So yeah, that's
does
my
this
first thing.
like similar to your last hour for your 100-mile?
It reminded me a little bit of it, actually, because so usually the way these things work, and I won't talk too much about this. I'm sure it'll come up again in a future episode as well. But you usually start very early in the morning on a Saturday, say, and then you have 26 or 30 hours or whatever the cutoff is. So essentially, mid-morning the next day on the Sunday.
Yeah.
So the last one of thes that I did was a 100-kilometer event in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
We started a little bit later, so we started around 8 a.m. and it took me what was it? A little over 24 hours in total to do it. So I was finishing up just after like sunrise on the next day.
Yeah.
And this video does remind me a bit of what that felt like.
Yeah.
Because you really you find that sort of second or third or fourth wind at that point to push yourself the last little bit and cross the finish line. And it's an amazing feeling. So yeah, this video is just nothing but that. And so that's why it's my first thing today, I suppose. Yeah. Yuna, what is your second thing?
So my second thing accidentally is called Life is a Marathon.
Oh, look at that. This was unplanned, but okay.
This is unplanned. Matt has no idea I'm going to talk about that. This is like what I actually get from a marathon runner. I just feel like I feel when we grow older, I start to understand more. A lot of things in life is not a sprint. It's actually about a marathon. You just have to be relentless. Has to keep on going and enjoying the journey. Don't put too focus on what's the result. I want to get there fast. I think the key takeaway for me is like, especially for my this week, is like when you're trying to learn something new or doing something like new exercise, you just need to. Sometimes you don't see you have achieved something great probably in a week's time, in a month's time, but you have to remember it's just a process. You just have to keep trying, keep learning, keep challenging yourself, and in the end, it doesn't matter what the result is. As long as you focus on the whole journey, you will feel like fulfillment. I feel happy.
I feel like we're turning into like a motivational podcast now. I mean, that was beautiful. Don't get me wrong. I'm just looking at Yuna while she's talking with like my eyes. There's like a single tear coming down my nose right now. No, that's beautiful. That's beautiful, babe.
Yeah.
So, was there anything in particular that sparked this idea that's bringing you joy right now?
It's two things that sparks me this joy, right? It's the first thing is actually I'm doing a course on Udemy called SQL. It's kind of coding language, right? I remember I told Matt and my best friend Rach, like I'm trying to learn these things probably a year ago. And a year later now, I've only done like 50% of the course, right? Literally, it's only like a 8 hours course. I've been so slow. But the key point is, it's not a sprint. As long as I'm learning in my spare time, it's good. And I do enjoy the process of learning a new knowledge. That's the first thing. And the second thing I discovered myself is my fitness exercise training.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Matt knows, like, I used to do this crazy morning exercise routine probably 2 years ago.
Oh, you were one of those people who would like get up at 4:30 every morning.
Yeah, I used to do that, but I stopped for 2 years, and recently I just restart doing a 6 weeks fitness program, and it's really difficult at the start.
Yeah.
But
I mean, the key is getting into that habit, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
And my point is like, be healthy, getting fit. It's not like a sprint. It's not like you will achieve these things or get your goals in like a month, half a year, a year. It's actually a lifestyle. It's a marathon. You have to treat that this way. You have to remember, keep going and enjoying the journey, how it makes you feel. I'm not turning into a motivational speech, but I saw
I'm forgetting to like respond to you. I'm like, I don't even want to interrupt you right now. You're on a tear.
Yeah. So that's my number 2. And
Beautiful.
Matt, what's your second thing?
Well, my second thing is actually, I think it's inspirational in a slightly different way. And I had mentioned to you earlier, kind of teasing what I would be sharing today, that this would make you proud, not of me, but just proud in general.
Yeah.
So this is actually from an article that I read about 5 days ago, although since then there's been a couple more articles about it.
Yeah.
You probably also know about this looking at my
Yes.
notes here. So for those not aware, not that long ago, there was another country who added a cute little robot on Mars.
Yeah.
It's China. And
Yay.
yeah, and so they have their robot named, I'm gonna get the tones wrong on this, 朱荣.
祝融.
朱荣,
Yes. Perfect.
which means what? That means something, right? The
Yeah.
god of
so
fire?
in ancient China, 祝融 was the god of fire.
Mm.
So it's similar as in Greek. Goddess named Perseus, right?
Perseus?
Yeah, Perseus.
Is that-
yes.
oh, yeah, that's
it's
right, that's right.
equivalent. Yeah.
Yeah, we're both huge mythology buffs, as you can tell.
Yeah.
This is we're experts here. So yeah, there's a few articles here, and I'll link them in the description for the episode as well. But there's one in particular that I thought was fairly interesting. So there's one from space.com. So you know it's official. It's Space's official website.
Mm-hmm.
The headline is, on its first try, China's 祝融
Yes, that's right.
rover hit a Mars milestone that took NASA decades. And there's also there's a video that went along with it that they released that showed both the actual rocket landing on Mars, I guess you could say. And I think there was a quote, I'm trying to find it, but they mentioned that it only landed about 2 kilometers away from the target, which is amazing. That's ridiculous. They also have and also showed video of 祝融.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get that right. Riding away from the spaceship as well, and showing some actual footage as well, which I'll link in the description along with the article. So yeah, big congrats to China's Tianwen team. Tianwen.
Yes.
I'll talk more about my Chinese learning struggles on a later episode, but you can tell I'm still struggling a bit with the tones there. But yeah, so that's just really cool to see. It's to me, it's amazing that we can actually see fairly high definition video
Yeah,
on Mars.
you
Like that's
have
insane to me.
you have to check the video. Like I when I looked at video on YouTube, like the high definition just surprised me. Like I've never imagined I could see Mars so clearly.
Now here's the question. Here's the big one. Do you want to see Mars so clearly with your own eyes?
That's a good question. Depends on how long I can live, right?
What if it was the last thing that you could do for your life?
The last thing.
They say, "Oh, Yuna, you've had a very long, fulfilling life here on this planet
Uh-huh.
that we're trashing. Do you want to go to this other planet for the last few minutes of your life and just see it?"
Yeah, definitely.
But what if I'm still on Earth?
Oh no.
Well, okay.
Definitely choose Earth.
So there's a caveat there. Okay,
Yeah.
good. Just wanted to
We
make
have
sure.
to go together.
That was the assumption, I think,
Yes.
maybe.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. And we'll bring Mocha version
Yeah.
5,
Mocha
whatever it
version
is by
5.
then.
Yes, exactly.
Beautiful. And the other thing, while I was finding some last minute things to read about this, I actually saw another article that was released literally just a couple hours ago. So I haven't read the whole thing, but I skimmed it here. On the, just to be fair to the other major country that's on Mars right now, NASA's rover, our little Perseverance guy, just posted an update on his Twitter.
Yeah.
And I love, this could be like its own little mini thing that brings me joy, but I'm just kind of tacking it on here.
Yeah.
I love the fact that there's a Twitter for the NASA Perseverance bot, and it actually tweets, using first person pronouns.
Yeah.
So, one of the latest ones is this is the Perseverance Mars rover. So it's at NASA Persevere, all one word. He says, he or she says, I'm not sure how it identifies, "I've made it to my next lookout, overlooking a spot we're calling Seita," which I believe is a Navajo word, I believe. Yeah, so it means amidst the sand in the Navajo language.
Yeah.
It's an area of dunes with some good science targets in and around it. I'll spy a few from here, doing science from afar, and then circle around and keep exploring. My location, and there's a link off to the NASA site.
Yeah.
I just love the wording here. I love doing science from afar, and there's good science targets. It's so cute. The fact that it's this combination of this amazing thing that we're doing as a species, and yet we can still have kind of fun with it, right?
Yeah,
I really
definitely.
enjoy that.
Does this tone remind you of the Star Wars robot?
A little bit, yeah.
Right?
I wonder if they drew any inspiration from that. Actually, I'd
Yeah,
be curious
exactly.
if they could, because they're very cute little robots.
Yeah.
They sing happy birthday to themselves. That's a very old article. I don't know if you saw that one.
Really? Wow.
Yes. Well, it's a little depressing actually, because I think when you think about it, it's just playing happy birthday to itself. Like it actually plays a little tune.
Maybe they can celebrate together with Zhurong, They're both in the same
Oh my god!
area
You just
now,
put the
right?
cutest picture in my head.
Exactly.
This is a U.S. We're not going to get super into like geopolitics on this show because but two adorable little ambassadors
Yeah.
of two countries that don't have the best relationship right now, meeting each other on neutral ground
Yeah.
and celebrating each other's birthday together
That's wonderful, right?
is the most adorable thing I've ever thought in my entire life. What if they just like took a selfie together on Mars?
That'd be so
oh my
cute.
gosh, that would be. Yeah, okay. That's my head is just like spinning with how cute that would be. Well, hopefully they'll be able to do that at some point. But yeah, that's my second thing. I just think it's so cool to see that.
And like makes you wondering if you will ever see Martian one day.
Well, now they're the Martians, right?
Yeah.
Our little robots are now the Martians.
Exactly.
All right. Yuna, what is your third thing?
So my third thing is actually my uni in China. They have released a graduation song from all their graduates, and the song's name is called "The Wind Is Starting to Blow." 起风了.
Oh, beautiful. Okay.
Yeah.
And we'll put a little snippet of it right here so everyone can listen.
The reason I love it is actually the graduates, they wrote the lyrics themselves, and all the lyrics has covered the areas, the places and the buildings and the dorms we have lived in, and they make this MV along the entire campus and just bring me back to that beautiful 4 years spending there in Wuhan.
And you recognize all the locations in the video too, right?
No, actually, I only probably recognize, say, 60%, because it's been 15 years
Oh, yeah.
since I went back to the uni. So it's actually really emotional. So I actually post a video on WeChat. WeChat is equivalent of Facebook.
Right.
A version in China, and a lot of my uni friends who I haven't seen them post a single thing for a year, suddenly
They're all over it, right?
They're all over it,
Yeah.
and commenting, say, "Oh my God, this reminds me the 4 years uni life we have, and I miss my uni, and I would like to go back."
I think you showed me this video, and it is really beautiful. Like I mean, I've never even been there, but I found it just beautiful the way that they honored their campus, and there's so much love for it, which is amazing. Yeah,
it's like the campus is huge, and we have lots of trees. We have a lake, and we have beautiful flowers, and lots of history, which I love so much. Yeah,
that's awesome.
So that's my number 3. So what's your last thing that makes you happy?
Well, and you can see it in my notes here as well. I wanted to. You think you know what this is going to be?
Yes,
I wanted to end off on something kind of lighthearted. So for those of you who listened to our episode 1 of the podcast, you probably heard the voice of our hidden third host.
Yeah.
Who is being much nicer today because he's sitting with us on the couch while we're recording. So my third thing is actually our conversations with our little puppy Mocha.
Yeah.
Now, the funny thing here is that when we first got him, and just for a little history here, we bought him when he was, how old was he?
10 weeks.
10 weeks, 11 weeks, something like that. Yeah. When he was just a puppy. And, he was an adorable little thing. He wasn't super vocal. I mean, he had a little bit of a separation anxiety. So he would whine a bit at night, which we got over eventually, but he didn't bark that much. He didn't whine that much. He didn't really growl even that much.
He's just like a teddy bear.
He was just a little teddy bear, loved to play, just kind of quiet little puppy.
Yeah.
In the last, I would say, maybe like 3 months or so.
3 months,
really just
probably.
like the last 3 months.
Yeah.
He has found his voice. And so, we live by a road and you often hear police sirens or ambulance sirens or things like that. And whenever we hear something like that, or whenever Mocha hears something like that, I should say, he is not a huge fan of something he hears but can't see. So if we're out and about doing a walk, he's fine. He never makes any noises. If he hears it while we're in the building, or, heaven forbid, if we have a fire drill in the building, he lets out this amazing howling sound and tries to talk to us. And sometimes I don't even know if he has to hear anything to do that. He'll just want to get our attention and he'll just start talking to us. Yeah. We recorded a clip pretty recently. Usually we forget to record these because it doesn't last very long, but we recorded one recently of him just refusing to shut up. And just trying to say something to us. And I'll insert just a clip of that here now.
What is that? What is that, Mocha? Can you stop barking? Stop talking back? Mocha, hush. Hush. Hush.
So yeah, he is very vocal. He likes to talk back often. If we tell him to get off the couch, he'll get off the couch, but he'll kind of throw in like a little
bark. Yeah.
And when we play with him, he sounds like a demon, which is fun. And he howls at the fire drill alarm, like I said before. And he's just become a very funny little guy. Yeah. And for that, he's a joy every day. I'm sure he's going to come up on this list in various forms in future episodes. But yeah, this specifically, he's just gotten so talkative with us. It's, I really wish we knew what he was saying.
Exactly.
Although I think if we could actually translate for him, I really think he would just be like cursing at us constantly, calling us idiots.
No, Mocha is a lovely little teddy bear.
No, because you know what? We do this thing sometimes where we both do it, but you do it, I think, more often than me, where you'll kind of translate for him. And he likes to call it, what does he like to call us? What's his favorite term for us?
Dumbass.
No, not dumb, not that bad. No, he'll call us stupid humans.
Stupid humans.
That's the favorite thing that you like to interpret his voice as.
Exactly.
So I'm pretty sure if he could talk like human language.
Okay.
I'd probably feel a lot worse about myself, actually.
Yeah, exactly. Probably if we can truly understand what he's talking about us, we won't find him adorable.
Not nearly as cute, yeah.
You would just be more human and maybe become a teenager that doesn't want to talk to his parents.
I think so,
right?
yeah. Maybe we should cherish having a little thing in our house that we can understand what it's saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's just enjoy that while we have it, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's definitely my third thing. And, you know, it never gets old hearing that. So
No, never,
Yeah.
never. And like, we were thinking like maybe we could put some of his cute videos on Mocha's Instagram account. Feel free.
You're doing
to,
another plug.
Feel
All right.
free to click them.
Okay.
They're still adorable.
No,
it's
do the
gonna
pitch,
brighten
do the
up
pitch, do the
day,
pitch.
you know?
Yeah, no, do your pitch.
Yeah.
Was that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
It's just purely out of love.
Purely out of love, yes.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's our 3 things for today. I had a lot of fun doing these.
I have a lot of fun talking to you and
I hope so.
understand each other's.
Because you're going to get a lot more of this over the years. No, I think doing these...
recording together and understand the 3 things, because I feel like this just brings little joy out of life and reminds you how great life is, and it makes you feel like you want to really enjoying the ride with each other.
100%.
Right?
So thank you everyone for listening to episode 2 of Our 3 Things. Just a couple also little announcements maybe. We finally have the podcast on more platforms. So if you're listening on Spotify, that's how it started, but it's on several others. You can go to bit.ly/o3t-podcast to see all of those. Don't laugh at me. I'm trying to sound professional over here. To find the platform that works best for you. I also want to quickly give notice to our intro and outro song. So it's a couple Chinese songs that actually, you were doing some dance routines to, which we'll talk about in the future.
Exactly.
Do you want to help me with attributing these? So for our intro song, we have...
It's called 广寒宫.
And who's it by?
It's by Wanzhou.
Is that right?
I'm not sure actually.
That's just copy pasted from the video. It's in
probably.
Chinese characters, which I don't know how to read all of them.
Yeah, because it's not like a famous singer, probably a singer that's just online. But we found this song because it's part of my Chinese classic dance class.
Yep. And then our outro is...
It's 红昭月 by 音觉视听.
Yep.
I hope I said it right.
Well, I hope that you said it right, because I wouldn't be able to say it right.
Yes, 音觉
Anyway,
视听. Yep.
they're lovely little songs, and I'll put the links in the show description as well going forward, so you can go listen to them if you want.
And make sure to check the dance choreography to those 2 songs. They're beautiful, lovely Chinese classic jazz. One of them is Chinese classic jazz. One of them is just Chinese classic. If you're interested in learning the dance, make sure to check those YouTube videos.
And they are not a sponsor of our podcast.
They're not.
That would be strange if they were.
Exactly.
But Yuna likes to sell them anyway.
Yeah, because I just love dancing.
And then final thing, we also have an Instagram account that during the week, we'll try to post little joyful things too, just to kind of keep your spirits up. So you can feel free to follow that as well. It's just Our 3 Things. You can search for it on Instagram and you can follow there.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Nothing.
All right.
I think we had a great time.
This was a good one.
Yeah.
So we're going to sign off for now, and we will see you next week.
Yeah.
And always remember that our 4th thing
It's
is you. That was good. Okay, bye.
Bye.
手中雕刻神话，刀锋千转蜿蜒成花。生命中的他是桥旁帮助人家，穿过绕过发梢红衫，刺绣的他，眉目刚的那座庄稼。红颜留下枕上白发。